Hi everyone, Meteorologist Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center. We are live here for our 19 at noon Wednesday edition, live wherever you stream, live on the 24/7 weather streaming channel. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're live on fox19.com and the Fox 19 News and First Alert weather apps. Wherever you stream, we got you covered here on Fox 19. Of course, I want to remind you, anytime you want to have a question or comment during this broadcast, you can always join us on Facebook, both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page at Emery WX. So, good afternoon. Meteorologist Emery here. I've been gone for almost a week, and the set's a little bit different. The lighting's a little bit different, so getting used to that. But, of course, we'll be talking about the First Alert weather day that is in store for tomorrow. For the threat, not for severe storms, but for the fact that we're looking at some strong winds as well as some rain that could be moderate at times and will impact some trick-or-treaters for tomorrow evening. And then also, too, we've got cooler air behind that heading into the end of the week, into the weekend, and then another warm-up in that 7-day forecast. We'll break all that down for you here coming up in a couple of minutes. And we'll dive into the comments here in the next couple of minutes. But I want to begin, first of all, by looking outside because you got to take in the views. You got to take a moment and, appreciate what's going on outside right now. In this room, we don't have any windows, but we do have a lot of different cameras, like this one. Our rooftop camera, just above the studios here in Queensgate, looking towards downtown. And what you see here, that looks like stratocumulus clouds, maybe altocumulus clouds, mid-level cumulus clouds. And that is a signal of really warm air moving in. We do have another warm day in store. In fact, a couple of degrees warmer than it was yesterday. And right now, as of noon, already at 70 degrees. And I expect this to rise several more degrees over the next few hours as we dive on into what's going to be the warmest day of the next 7-day forecast here. So, of course, right now, radar is quiet. We're not looking at any activity today, just cloud cover moving in with some sunshine filtered through those clouds. And again, a sign of warm air. We've got some southwesterly flow moving in. We're in what we call the warm sector. So we've got a front out here all the way to the west, and a warm front moved through. The warm front really didn't do a whole lot, but it is allowing for much warmer air to move into the region, and that warmer weather is going to kind of take precedence of not only bringing us warm conditions, but also increasing the dew points. So you're going to feel a little bit more humidity going into this afternoon and then also into tomorrow, and that's what we're going to allow to see some of those showers move in. Now, we could see some thunderstorms tomorrow, but it's going to be very limited just because there's not as much instability as what models were showing a couple of days ago. And this is something that's been something I've been watching away, but it's looking like we're looking to see some decent rain. Unfortunately, the timing is not great for trick-or-treaters, but it'll be some needed rain here into the region. Right now, though, you will see where the warm sector is located on this regional temperature map. So what we've got here is all this warm air here. This is part of that warm front, or warm sector. The warm front back up in here. So the warm front's up here. The cold front is right here. Notice the stark difference in color right here. So we've got the, I'm used to looking over here. The camera's right here. So here is the cold front. Notice behind it, you got the shades of blue and light green. Those are temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. In fact, right now, if you were to move this map over towards like western South Dakota, western North Dakota, western Nebraska, they're seeing snow right now. We won't see snow, but we will see a big drop in temperatures going into Friday once this front passes through. But ahead of that front, really warm air. 78 right now in St. Louis. It's 11 o'clock there in the morning. We're at 70. We're going to see that increase in temperatures. In fact, the map just upgraded it a little bit in terms of the color. So, again, we are at 70 this hour. We're going to rise up in those upper 70s, even the low 80s this afternoon. And the dew points, I mentioned that. Those are also on the rise with this warmer weather. We got southwesterly flow. That's going to give us that Gulf moisture. Not a lot, but enough to where you're going to notice it both this evening and tomorrow. So you've got these dew points, we're okay right now in the mid-50s, although that might feel a little humid, especially into the end of October. But we could be seeing dew points climbing into the 60s for tomorrow ahead of that front. And you can see those dew points in the 60s stretching from the Tennessee Valley down into northern Alabama, over towards Texarkana, even into the Central Plains, looking at those dew points there. Although the Central Plains could be looking at a severe risk today over towards Oklahoma and Kansas. But that's something we won't be dealing with here at home, fortunately. We are just looking at some showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder at best with that. So before we kind of dive into the Storm Prediction Center's outlook and kind of the forecast models, let's look at the current temperatures, current conditions, and the wind gusts, because the primary thing we're going to be dealing with both today and tomorrow will be the winds. So if you're concerned about severe weather, I'm not as concerned. In fact, very little concern at that. But we will be seeing some showers, some thunder, and strong winds. The strong winds will be there even without the rain, even without the thunderstorms. And so we'll dive into that here in just a moment. So temperatures right now are in those low 70s. The warmest spot right now, Hamilton, central Butler County, 73 degrees there this hour. And the dew points, the measure of the moisture in the air, again, going to slowly rise up. Mid to upper 50s here this hour. Already a dew point right now of 63 over in Lebanon. And the winds, you're probably feeling it out there. The winds sustained are anywhere between, well, roughly 10 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour. But then the wind gusts are anywhere from close to 20 to 25 miles per hour. We could see gusts today close to 30 miles per hour as we dive on into the afternoon and evening hours. So we'll look at today's temperatures, today's high temperatures forecasted, and then we'll go take a look at the forecast model with the winds, take a pause, and then we'll dive into the Storm Prediction Center's thunderstorm outlook, which again, we'll see that here in a couple of minutes. So today's high is 80 degrees. Again, pretty daggone warm for late October. Now, the forecast model, or the forecast that we had earlier this morning had today, right now at 73. Not quite as warm as that, but definitely going to see those temperatures quickly ramp up this afternoon with that mix of sun and clouds. So again, today's highs will be in those upper 70s to low 80s here into the region. So let's now look at those wind gusts. Going to be a breezy afternoon. Wind gusts today could get close to 30 miles per hour. What I'm going to do is put this full screen for you. That way I don't cover up any location. I hate whenever I'm watching TV and somebody's covering up a spot. I want to make sure everyone gets to see their location or a location closest to them, because unfortunately we cannot show every single community. That's just impossible because you wouldn't be able to read anything. So let's take a look at all those locations that we have plotted here on this map of the future wind gusts. This is one particular forecast model. It does a fairly decent job with wind gusts. So we go into this evening, into tonight, we're looking at some breezy winds late tonight, picking back up. So take a pause real quick. It's going to be breezy this afternoon. Wind gusts close to 30 miles per hour. As we go towards sunset into the first half of the night, winds will be okay. Gusts will be anywhere between 10 and 20 miles per hour. But after midnight, winds will begin to pick back up. So if you have Halloween decorations that have been holding true, standing firm over the last couple of days of the winds, I would say that you want to take them inside, maybe secure them even more, because tomorrow the winds will pick up a notch beginning at 2-3 a.m. So here's the forecast model, 2-3 a.m., already seeing gusts between 20 and 25 miles per hour. We go into Thursday mid-morning, so when the kids are at the bus stop, it's going to be gusty. Wind gusts close to 30 miles per hour. We go into Thursday lunch hour. We could be looking at wind gusts anywhere between 30 to 35 miles per hour. And then Thursday afternoon, ahead of that cold front, we could be looking at wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour. So strong winds will be moving through regardless if we're seeing showers or not. So don't get caught up in the notion of, oh, well, if we don't have severe storms, we're not looking at any impacts. Wrong. Even if we don't see storms, or even if you don't see storms, there will be some thunder. There will be some scattered showers tomorrow. But it'll still be windy nonetheless. Wind gusts will be anywhere between 30 to 40 miles per hour. We could even see locally higher wind gusts possible with this system. So take it back to full screen. That way you can see those locations. So again, Thursday mid-morning through the afternoon, looking at pretty strong wind gusts around close to 40 miles per hour. And then Thursday night, once that front passes through, still a little breezy for your Thursday night, but then we head into Friday, and the winds will begin to be a little more modest. So by Friday morning, wind gusts will no longer be an issue for us here into the tri-state. So I want to get this forecast model popped up. We'll take a pause real quick, look at the comments, make sure I don't miss anything before we go any further. All right, got a couple of comments. Sarah says, hi, Ethan, welcome back. Hope you had a good one. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Got to go to a place I'd never been before over in northern Ohio, right along the shores of Lake Erie. I've only seen Lake Erie via air travel, never in person, so, or I guess at the ground. In person, you could still be in a plane, but got to actually see it, which was really, really cool, and was in Put-in Bay for a couple of days. Really, really nice. Susan says, hi, Ethan. Susan also says, loved your pics from Northern Ohio. Thank you. I'll probably post more on my Instagram in the next couple of days. Susan also saying, I would love the snow. Yeah, me too. Usually this time of year is when, I've seen Facebook memories, people talking about they've seen snow around this time. Certainly not abnormal to see snow around this time of the year here in the Ohio Valley. Unfortunately, doesn't appear to be the case. In fact, temperatures look to stay pretty warm or pretty above normal in the 7-day forecast, unfortunately, though some of you probably don't mind that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. That's the only comments I see on the Fox 19 Facebook page. I will check my Facebook page because I actually forgot about that one. Hopefully you all have a good week so far. I know yesterday was a little breezy, but yeah, once we get past Thursday, the winds will actually no longer be as big of an issue, at least for the weekend. Hey, we got some more comments on my Facebook page. Jeff says, I'm not understanding. Any saver weather? Sorry, I thought you said something about it. Oh, severe. Sorry. No, I'm not looking at a severe threat. There is the threat with the winds associated with the thunderstorm. There might be what we call strong thunderstorms. But it'll be very limited. You might hear some thunder, you might see some lightning, but we're not looking at severe thunderstorms. I will say the winds, even if you don't hear thunder, you're going to look at some strong winds tomorrow afternoon. I'll show you here on this model here in a second. Andrew says hello. Hello to you. Cindy says hello, hello. Hello to you as well. Karen says hello, Ethan. Breezy but nice today in Delhi. Yeah, it's going to be breezy all day today. And also tomorrow, as I was saying. Jeff also asking about snow in the 14-day. Unfortunately, no. Just a little too warm here over the next couple of weeks. Cindy, does the sun fuel wind? What I'm asking is that a lot of times the winds are calm in the morning and by the afternoon the winds pick up. Hey, Cindy, you're onto something. Yes, that is, I wouldn't say it fuels it, but it certainly helps it. So if, in this scenario, it's not necessarily the case, it adds to it, but we have warm air moving in from the south that was going to keep the winds not as breezy in the overnight hours, but there was some wind last night that kind of ushered in that warmer weather. But typically, yes, when you have a cool morning, say, at the surface, and the heating of the day occurs, the surface gets warm and it forces that cold air to lift up, and that creates what we call mixing, to where you have, it develops winds. And a situation like this you have already warm conditions moving in at the surface, and as the heating of the day picks up, it just adds more heat, which forces a little bit of that lift, and it will allow for more mixing. So yeah, typically you're going to have more winds in the daytime than at night, just because of what we call mixing. Not always the case, but in this scenario, I would say not so much as mixing as it is what we call warm air advection. To save you from the explanation, it's just the warm air being transported from the south and west to the north and east. Kind of the warm air sector ahead of the cold front. But Cindy, yes, in short, you are correct. Nathan, asking about the long range for the tri-state. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the long range. I haven't had the chance to, unfortunately. Had some holdups this morning with, you know, we can only use a certain amount of computers, and I wasn't allowed to use a computer for a little bit, so didn't get a chance to dive into everything as much as I'd like to. But did look at the 7-day at least, and the 7-day does look pretty warm here, Nathan. Okay, I think we're all caught up in the comments. So let's take a look at the forecast model. We've been talking for about 17 minutes, haven't had a chance to show you it. So here it is. We go ahead and take a look at today. It's dry, of course. Tonight, clouds will begin to increase. Again, tonight, we're looking at the winds picking up after midnight, and this is ahead of that cold front. So we're looking at some mid to upper level clouds moving in for your Thursday morning, and this will limit high temperatures a little bit tomorrow. So we go into Thursday morning. Could be looking at a few spotty showers, nothing significant, but just a few light showers for your Thursday morning. We go into Thursday midday, could see a couple of downpours. Thursday afternoon is when we're looking at the main event, so to speak. Now, again, I'm not looking at severe weather, but we are looking at lines of showers. Could be some brief downpours with this. So with the winds and the rain, there's going to be the potential for some reduced visibility for tomorrow afternoon. So keep that in mind as you're getting a bite to eat, maybe when you're picking up the kids from school, getting home from work, getting ready for trick-or-treating. Even during trick-or-treating, we'll see these on and off periods of showers, a few thunderstorms, and with the strong winds, even outside of the showers and storms, it's going to create brief reductions in visibility. And I'm not looking at anything like significant, but I'm just saying for folks who are traveling on the roadways, because you're going to have the spray up plus the wind, and it makes it a little bit harder to see if you're traveling tomorrow afternoon. So here you have it, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. There's that line of shower activity and thunderstorms, and then we go into Thursday evening. Here's the actual front, and then it'll finally leave after midnight. So unfortunately, if you got trick-or-treat plans, I would say have an indoor option if you can. If you can't, make sure you check radar frequently. You can always check it on the First Alert Weather app, and have the umbrella with you and the kids before they are going trick-or-treating. And remember, if you hear thunder, forget trick-or-treating. You don't want to be outside when you hear thunder, because when you hear thunder, that means you are close enough to be struck by lightning, and no one wants to have that for Halloween. But then by Friday morning, the rain comes to an end, and we are looking at a dry weekend. When it comes to rainfall totals, let's take a look at that, because this is going to be some needed rainfall for parts of the tri-state. So we go into Thursday, take a look at this. We go through tomorrow, and we've got some places anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain, even close to an inch according to maybe local amounts. But generally speaking, anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain could be pretty nice. Again, this is all happening in one day, so ponding roadways not out of the question with this. So let's go ahead and show you that First Alert Weather Day, those headlines. First half of the day, well, the models have been updated since this graphic was made, but we are looking at some chances of some light showers for the first half of the day. Nothing that's going to be everyone seeing it, but just a few isolated areas. The afternoon, though, anytime after, I would say 2 o'clock, is when we're looking at more widespread activity moving in, and Mainly just shower activity, but there will be some thunder. And again, I'm not looking at the risk of anything severe. It's just going to be strong winds, and those strong winds will be here even without the showers and storms. But once we go into the weekend, things will dry out. Oops. Let's go back here real quick to this 7-day. And here we go. So that is the 7-day forecast. Today's high, 80 degrees, partly cloudy and breezy. Tomorrow, I know the text just says storms possible, but one thing I really want to emphasize, and I will be updating this, that way Catherine at 3 o'clock can show this with a little bit more accuracy. It'll be windy tomorrow. Gusts will be close to 40 miles per hour. I would not be surprised if a wind advisory was issued for tomorrow. Don't want to speak for the Weather Service, but that's something that I'm sure they're even looking at themselves. Tomorrow's high will be 75. Friday, 61, a little bit cooler, partly cloudy. And then we're looking at the weekend. Temperatures will be warming up back into the upper 60s by Sunday, and in the low to mid 70s Monday and Tuesday. I am looking at shower and even some rumbles of thunder possible Monday and Tuesday. And also, if you got folks over towards the Central Plains, Monday and Tuesday, we could be looking at some strong storms out that way. Not for us, but areas west of here by that point. And when I record a video for our social media, or for our website and app here in a little bit, I will show you that 14-day forecast that we exclusively do here on Fox 19. Just haven't had the chance to really go through it because, again, timing and things of that nature. But we will have that for you on fox19.com/weather and on the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app. So that is your 7-day forecast. Again, we're looking at kind of a swing in temperatures between today being close to 80 degrees and then down to 61 for a high by Friday before we warm right back up heading into next week. So thank you all so much for joining us. We've got to get off of here. That way now the Natty can take place. But again, thank you. Anytime you want to get the forecast, you can always do so on the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app, fox19.com/weather, and of course on the First Alert 24/7 Weather streaming channel, available wherever you stream. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon.